Hi, everyone, and welcome to the ViaMonstra Online Academy. My name is Jon Arvid Mark, and today I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by two very distinguished guests from the Nordics. We have Sandy over from Finland and Jan Ketil over from Norway. Hi, guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, we are good.
Not bad at all. It's been a good summer, and the fall is just kicking in with a lot of training, and that kind of brings you to the table here a little bit. But for those of you who don't know who you are, can you just give me just a very quick introduction um, to yourself? And Sandy, you're up first.
Okay. Me first. Yes. Um, I am sitting in Finland, so I have been doing IT things since 2009 as a trainee. First thing I did was actually in touch with the MDT deployment. That was at the point that I keep asking Johan all the questions that I run into, sending him emails. Yeah. Uh, I am still really thankful that you replied to me the emails. You said you were in the jungle and you still reply to me. So I was really touched at that point. Um, that is how at some point I start doing config manager. It's a powerful tool that I really love it. Doing application management, task sequence, and maintain the server up and running and troubleshooting, all kind of things. At some point, I started doing Intune. So that was actually when co-management announced back in 2017 in Ignite. So that was the me very first time start learning about cloud and start doing Intune. I actually paid the license myself. I also paid the Azure subscription myself in the first couple months so that I can learn how to do all of these fancy things. That was how I start doing cloud with Intune at the point. So time goes by, and now I am doing way more than that. So partner up with Jan together, working in Cloudway. Well, as the name it is Cloudway. Yeah. I do quite a lot of still device management, mostly in Intune, of course. Also still doing config manager if customer require me to do. But of course, mostly still focusing on security, like identity, conditional access, also all kind of automations. Maybe sometimes we'll build some tools if there's a caps that customer needs. All sort of stuff. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you so much. And I mean, you're pretty spot on according to the trend in the IT industry. I mean, we see on the academy, we have for the past couple of years, we have 4 or 5 times the amount of students that are interested in different type of cloud trainings compared to the on-premises training. So I'm not surprised to hear that you say that you have more work with Intune these days. That's pretty much where it's at across the board. But Jan, how about you?
Well, as you say, my name is Jan Ketil, and I am today working as a principal cloud architect in Cloudway. I'm also lucky to say I'm also Sandy's boss, and I am very happy that she joined my team back in the days. So my area of expertise these days is, of course, within Intune, but also I work very much with Enter ID and identity security. I've been, you didn't say that, Sandy, but I've been an MVP for almost 9 years now. I don't remember, Sandy, but you probably are a few years behind me. It's called
2018.
MVP.
So
It's called
yeah,
MVP in security now, right? But I used to start out as enterprise mobility back in the days, and the name change of the MVP program is spot on as well, because endpoint management and identity and access management is definitely security. So
Yeah.
I'd like to say I work with security, and uh, according to the program lead back in the days, I was the first MVP that was ever entered into the program purely based on Intune contributions. So I was kind of, I started actually working with Intune already before it came out the door at Microsoft, because at that time I was a technical pre-sales in Microsoft and got Intune on the table. It's nothing like it is today. Thank for that. It's evolved a lot since the first days. But yeah, I do love working with Intune. But it's been like Intune has been now is my second thing. My primary focus is around identity and access management on top of everything I can script and have fun with as well and automate that I love to do.
I mean, I've known you, and thank you, Jan. I've known you guys for a couple of years now, and you are in the absolute forefront of providing consulting services, but also now training around these technologies. And if I've done the math right, you've been part of our academy for almost 3 years now, doing training from everything from mobile device management to Microsoft Graph, related reporting, and also joining our Intune Masterclass, the 5-day masterclass for a good couple of times now. But can you tell me a little bit about what you are presenting or the topics that you are presenting in that particular class?
Yeah, in the masterclass, as you said, we are part of a big class. There's a lot of topics in that masterclass, and we are focusing on multiple things as well in the masterclass. We have two bulks on 2 different days. And the first day, we are involved with the masterclass. We are doing an introductory to mobile device management in Intune, going about cover the basics, how to get started with managing your iOS and Android devices, all the way through to doing, Apple Business Manager, automated deployments. We go into the differences between classic MDM and MAM, or app protection. And on the next day, we go deeply into how to get started using Graph API, scripting, automation for Intune using Graph, before we end basically with some insights into reporting, some KQL. Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Sandy?
That is the topic what we teach in the class. Sometimes we go off the topic when students or people ask different kind of questions. We still love to answer those questions.
But that's the point, I think, of having a live training where a student can ask questions, in contrast to just have like an on-demand video or anything like that, because no training will be exactly the same, because it does depend on the questions that come in. So that's what I like about that part. Now, these topics that you guys present on, why are they important? Why should people learn about them?
Well, from my perspective, it comes back to security, right? So when it comes down to having a secure environment, you need to start with securing your devices, because the devices where you consume all your data. That's where where you do all your stuff. From the employee to the CEO, all the data is going through and standing on your devices. You need to secure the devices. And some like the topics, it goes from the mobile, where you can classically do MDM on the mobile. You can do app protection to protect the data within the apps. And also, I think the topics is always going to be relevant, as we are always, for every single class, there is an update, right? So we are always current. And as long as Intune is a cloud platform, it keeps on changing. There's always new things to learn. Even if you've been to class 3 years ago, maybe you should revisit, because there's a lot of things that happened since then. So yeah, I think any IT pro focusing on any endpoint management side of things is absolutely very relevant.
Yeah, and mobile devices is sometimes that we doing projects like many people focusing on Windows most of the time, because Windows is the machine that you normally use. But the phone actually is kind of less priority in many cases. But we still think that is very relevant and important, because actually people use the phone all the time it's not just working hours. I mean, even working time, you type in your machine, but you still use your phone. Many times you use your phone. You go to your toilet, you still use your phone. Many people do that. So I would think we will really think that protecting the phone and the data is much as important than Windows itself. So it shouldn't be just prioritize something over another. So we kind of think also mobile device world, it's kind of like it moves really fast, like Android, iOS, they always have upgrades and always have some new features coming in. So that is why we think it's also important to keep the knowledge up to date and how to manage these mobile devices. Maybe some new feature coming in and you might want to configure something more or configure something less.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. So obviously, we will not have the time to cover the entire course, what you're doing here in this little interview, but if you could share just one practical tip in related to these areas, what would that be?
I would say one of the most important thing I would tip of is don't estimate the power of Graph API. I mean, if you come from a on-premises world where you could script your way around everything, customizing your config manager task sequences, doing client modification, scripting against Active Directory, that's all Graph API now. And if you want to do any kind of scripting or automation, so I would say getting into Graph is kind of maybe one of the most important thing you can do. And I think it's, in my opinion, at current date, if you use some AI, and I'm not talking security copilot now or anything like that. I'm talking about GitHub or Cloud AI or ChatGPT. You can get so much help on learning Graph API now. There is literally no excuse anymore. It's so easy to get started with the simple stuff by the help of chat bots and integrated even in VS Code.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so much. So before wrapping up here, so if people want to learn more about you guys and follow what you are doing online, what would be the best resource to find you guys?
I would say there are two places where you would find more about us. One is on cloudway.com, our website, where you can find, we publish there all the events we are attending as speakers. We're also, all our blog posts are also visualized on the web page. In addition to that, we have, of course, msendpointmanager.com, which is the blog we both blog on. And I mean, sure, you can also find us on LinkedIn. That's where I am these days. I'm not a lot of other platforms anymore. I use primarily LinkedIn now, which is my want-to-go platform these days. And Sandy, but you have another website too, right?
Yeah, I built another website. I built a web portal. Actually, I recently, for the past 3 weeks, I have been building a web portal called Intune Div. So it's for comparing Intune policies, and also you can search settings and values. So that's the one that what I have been now doing in the past 3 weeks, almost day and night. But otherwise, find me is also pretty simple. It's almost same like a Jan, just the LinkedIn is different profiled.
Right now, fantastic work. Congratulations on the release on that solution. It's quite clear that you spent lots and lots of hours on it. But we'll make sure to share the links to these different locations and websites below here in the video. But Sandy, Ketil, thank you so much for joining us today. And I'll see you in both October and November, I believe. So take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.